Gerald R. Ford Museum is inviting the community to check out two new exhibits in honor of America's 250th birthday. News 8's Karina Prieto brings us a look at the new collections and the 4th of July events at the museum.
So picture this. It's 1974. The national speed limit is only 55 miles per hour. Elton John just topped the charts with Benny and the Jets. And Gerald R. Ford is now the 38th president of the United States. Now, I know a lot's changed since then, so it could be hard to picture what life was like and the progress we've made in our country. So let's take a look.
So this is our newest exhibit, temporary exhibit, Waltzing with the Queen.
Thousands of pieces of history sit here in the Gerald R. Ford Museum.
So we have about 20,000 artifacts in our collection, and maybe 3,000 of them are related to the bicentennial.
So when it came time for the nation's 250th birthday, museum curator Dr. Morel Lukey knew just how to tie in West Michigan's connection to American history.
We immediately thought of the bicentennial in 1976 when President Ford was in office.
The U.S. and the U.K. have a storied past, one that involves 38th President and longtime West Michigan resident Gerald R. Ford.
So, for example, right now we're sitting in the Waltzing with the Queen exhibit's recreation of the family dining room, the family kitchen in the White House, where President Ford would come and eat his English muffin, drink his coffee every morning, and he would read the newspaper. And so visitors can take a look at some of the newspaper headlines that he would have seen while in office.
Waltzing with the Queen is like walking through a timeline of what the museum calls the Anglo-American special relationship.
So in this exhibit, you see how he is taking this unexpected responsibility that has been thrust upon him becoming president of the United States.
In an effort to move the country forward, Dr. Lukey says Ford prioritized a positive relationship with the UK.
This friendship then really culminates with the 1976 bicentennial visit of Queen Elizabeth. She travels around the United States and she comes to Washington, D.C., where the Fords welcome her with a state dinner held in her honor.
An exhibit highlight the Queen's silk chiffon dress worn during that state dinner on loan to the museum from the Royal Collection Trust.
The visitors will be able to see these objects, and they'll also be able to see video of the Queen and the President dancing together. This moment is important because it highlights how diplomacy and how the two of them waltzing, chatting together, laughing can help really strengthen the ties, the political ties of these two nations.
Although Ford's international relationships were a key part of his presidency, Dr. Lukey says his West Michigan roots were too. Tell me why this is an important part of history to preserve and also to highlight the West Michigan tie to this part of history.
He had been a congressman representing Grand Rapids for 25 years before he became first vice president and then president of the United States. And so I think a lot of his kind of approach to his time in office was shaped by his time in Grand Rapids.
And in addition to artifacts like a signed letter from Queen Elizabeth to President Ford, the museum is also showing the American eagle.
And many of these bicentennial objects were gifted to President Ford in 1975 and 1976 in honor of the bicentennial by foreign leaders, by members of the American public. So we have some sculptures, we have wooden handmade plaques that members of the public sent him.
So if you're in need of some 4th of July plans,
we're going to be free on the 4th of July, have food trucks, reenactors, and a lot of stuff going on. So that's a really great time to come check us out.
That's happening from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Grand Rapids, Karina Prieto, News 8.
And don't miss our Spirit of America special that's airing tonight. We're going to be highlighting patriotic West Michigan stories, all leading up to this big America 250 celebration. That special will air tonight at 7.